let's kind of move on, and we've already started on this discussion a little bit, but just sort of uh, guidance for enterprises. Um, and so if an enterprise is sort of aware of these trends now, and David, as you said, a lot of what's the value that's provided by a partner like Nexmo is sort of allowing them not to really think about it and just sort of focus on their business. Um, but let's talk about a smaller enterprise that's maybe just beginning to think about going global, going across borders. Um, what are some of the things that they should be thinking about, or maybe it'd be good for them just to know, because that can also validate the decision to partner with somebody about kind of the complexity of what it means to actually have messaging on a international scale.
Already mentioned a couple of things. So in terms of ease of access of the service, how easy is it to integrate, how easy is it to use, particularly if you're starting out, you're going to be a small team, and we've been through this Nexmo when we were a startup, that you never have enough time to do everything you want, and you need to focus on your core business. And the latest app that's coming out wants to focus on being the latest cool app that's coming out, and not focus on how the hell do you send an SMS. So I think that's one thing, is ease of access. With companies who are starting out or starting to go across border, and we've seen this with a number of customers we've worked with, is that they just don't know where that growth is going to come from. It could be that they go viral one day in one country because a celebrity picks it up and tweets about it, or it gets it might get reviewed by surprise on some tech show on TV, and an enterprise can't plan for that. And it could be that all of a sudden they wake up one day and they have 300,000 downloads in Germany in the space of 2 hours, all of which need a text message. And you need to have a provider of your communication service that can scale very quickly with you wherever you end up going. And certainly that's one of the things we saw, that when we started Nexmo, one of the reasons we started was that was one of the things we wanted to address. So having a cloud network allows us to deploy in new places. It's very elastic. We obviously have the connectivity downstream that can handle unexpected bursts of business. You also want, I think you also, as a company starting out, you want the flexibility that it might not work out. You might decide that there's a better way to communicate. We certainly feel that, for example, SMS is the right channel to do your user authentication. But you might find, as a startup, you might find there are other ways to communicate with your customers, and you also want to have the flexibility that you can change your communications partner. Now, obviously, that can mean that you just you can pull away and you're not tied into contracts. It could be that you can very quickly move to another channel. And that's something we touched on earlier. Is a lot of these communication providers today provide you with a very similar API for multiple channels. Messaging and chat app, or messaging and a voice call can be a very, very similar line of code, just with a few key bits changed. So I think those are very important things for a company that's starting out or starting to go overseas to consider.
Any reaction to that from Steve or Dan?
Yeah, just to add on to something David said there, I think looking for a partner that is going to help you understand the complexities of going abroad. We put an awful lot of effort. The world of dealing with mobile operators is incredibly complex, and every different operator, every different country has its own set of requirements. I still don't understand all of it. We put an awful lot of effort into trying to make that information available for our customers in a transparent way, so that they're empowered to make the right decisions and to be able to reach their users in the correct manner.